Journalist Ngo was attacked in Portland really bad, much worse than ever before, I believe. And this is a really sad tragedy. This is a sign of something that is a real problem that isn't going away and probably won't go away until potentially after the 2020 election, but I'm not even sure if it will stop there. Hey, it's Prince of Queens. And before I get into the story a little bit, I want to remind everybody, or inform everybody, that there will be a gay triarchy today, Sunday, June 30th, at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Our guest will be a bisexual man who's a YouTuber that lives in Canada, that his channel goes by the name of Everyday Oppression. I've talked to him before a number of times, and he's very interesting, so tune in. It should be a good episode. Okay, that said, Ngo is a very, very nice guy. He's Asian, he's very soft-spoken, and he is gay. He is by far the nicest independent journalist that covers the Antifa violence directly in Portland. So it's really, really messed up that they came for him, attacked him, beat him very, very badly, and they threw a milkshake at him that got all over him. But there seems to be signs that this was one of the milkshakes that actually had quick-drying cement in it, and so it was thrown at the back of his head and could have hurt him severely. I believe he's likely still in the hospital because this just happened yesterday. So it's a really horrible thing that this happened to him in particular, because I have to say, I have my misgivings about Patriot Prayer and some of the Proud Boys incidents. Now, I don't want to be confusing. I don't want to say that these people, Patriot Prayer and the Proud Boys, are completely terrible, because their general ethos, as far as I understand, and there's a lot of people who will say this, and I've never really seen conclusive evidence to the contrary, Patriot Prayer and the Proud Boys do fight back. But the issue that I have in terms of thinking that they're questionable is that they show up with the intention of starting altercations, which you can clearly see in the videos of them. They do expect Antifa to fight, they do bait them, and I think that there's a possibility that there has been at least one incident where they did throw the first punch, but this is very unconfirmed because even in the video that I saw this in, you couldn't actually really see if the guy hit the Antifa guy first or if he hit back first. The camera simply wasn't on the attack as soon as it happened, so it's really hard to know. Now, in that video, the Antifa people were definitely following around the members of Patriot Prayer that eventually did hit them, and perhaps a physical altercation had happened before. I'm not really sure. However, what I want to say is that this is questionable behavior. I can't say I absolutely hate the Proud Boys or Patriot Prayer because of the fact that I do believe that defending oneself, exposing the fact that Antifa is regularly attacking other people, regularly destroying property, and all sorts of things like that in a city that won't do anything about it, I do believe that actually serves a purpose which isn't entirely negative. However, this is very different than Ngo, who seems like a completely sweet guy who's not violent in the least. He is really just there to get footage every time, being planned to be attacked. They actually planned it, and then it happening really, really bad. So here's footage of him directly after the attack. He doesn't have the footage on camera because they stole his GoPro and I guess some other things, so that he couldn't actually deliver the evidence to the police.
I just got beat up by the crowd, no police at all, in the middle of the street, and they stole my GoPro, and he punched me several times in my face, in my head, I'm bleeding.
How you doing, man?
Where the hell were all of you?
Can you talk to me?
Yeah, where the hell were you?
You know your name?
My name's Andy Ngo.
You know where you're at?
I had been assaulted twice earlier today and reported it to your colleagues.
Hey,
And nothing was done.
Andy, I'd like to
And
help
I was
you
in the middle of the street in the front documenting this.
I'd like to help you. Can you tell me?
They stole my evidence. They stole my GoPro.
Andy, can I take care of your medical needs right now? Is that okay? We'll worry about that in a little bit. Okay, can you tell me where you're at?
Downtown Portland.
Can you tell me who the president is? I know they're dumb questions.
Trump.
Okay. So, tell me what happened. Looks like you got hit in the forehead a little bit, in the eye.
They just started attacking me.
Okay, what did they use?
Their weapons in their hands.
Okay.
Their shields. Their signs.
Did you black out?
No.
Okay. Do you have any blurred vision?
I don't think so.
Okay, can I see your eyes real quick?
I got this. They throwing milkshakes on me too.
Okay,
so
open your eyes for me. Look at me right in the eyes. I'm just seeing what to read. Okay. Any neck or back pain?
Not in this position.
Okay. So other than the obvious ones you have on your face, anything else on your body hurts?
I get that. I just want somebody to
I don't know. It's stinging though. I think because I have cuts on my face.
Can you lean forward for me? I'm gonna feel your neck and back. Tell me if any of this hurts.
No. They hit me on the back of my head several times. Go ahead.
And here's video of one of the attacks.
fucking owned, bitch!
To make matters worse, Andy Ngo is now suffering from brain hemorrhaging, which can literally be lethal. The cops were there as he was being attacked, but they didn't do anything about it. He called them, and it took them a really long time for them to come, as you can see. This is absurd. This is heated up to something very, very dangerous. And there are Antifa accounts, and perhaps even journalists, I believe that there are, who are gloating about this, who are saying that this is an okay thing to do. Can we really think about this for a moment? I have long been saying that Antifa does actually have no problem attacking people who are minorities, who are gay, and to be perfectly honest, they often bring up the fact that they are minorities and that they are gay as racially targeted, and in terms of stuff I've seen on the internet, homophobic rhetoric has regularly been used as long as they think the person is some sort of quote-unquote fascist, some sort of so-called Nazi apologist. They are perfectly fine with getting completely racist, completely anti-gay. I have experienced it directly in terms of being gay. How long before these people actually get considered a hate group? They really have very few members who are racial minorities. They do target people based on their race and characteristics. It's not really the only motivation, but they will certainly throw out racial epithets. And they've done this to Andy Ngo in the past.
Your parents would be embarrassed by you, and your grandparents who've been oppressed by white men throughout history. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Why should I be ashamed of myself?
Because you're an Asian given into white supremacy, motherfucker.
In addition to all of this, Ted Cruz has actually come out and said that there should be a Department of Justice investigation because of the fact that the police in Portland don't really do their job. And honestly, I don't really understand what else can be done. They have actually been declared a domestic terrorist organization, Antifa has. And so it's really horrible thinking that because of the fact that we are pretty sure nobody involved in Antifa stuff has actually killed anybody, though, you know, we're not entirely sure because there has been some left-wing mass shootings recently. There was the kids in Colorado who went into a college, and there was also a recent black man who did end up shooting a bunch of people and I believe killing several, and he was a definite leftist. I don't know for sure that these people had involvement with Antifa. I can't say that definitively, but there is a possibility that they did. Regardless, we know that they attack people. We know that they attack people in potentially lethal ways, like hitting the one guy with the bike lock. How long can it go on and still be completely allowed? How long can social media companies cover for them by saying, oh, well, you know, they're not a centralized organization? As if all of the other things like Patriot Prayer and the Proud Boys, which, remember, the Proud Boys was supposed to be headed by Gavin McInnes, but he's not a part of them anymore. How long can this stuff go on? It's really scary. You know, I live in the Pacific Northwest. It's not as dangerous where I live. Portland seems to be the epicenter across the entire nation. But how long will this stuff go on and be seemingly as good as condoned by the mayor? In fact, the mayor did say that he believes Antifa means well. It's just shocking. It's really shocking. It makes me really sad and scared for our nation. That's all I have to say for this video. Please tune into Gatriarchy at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.